Good afternoon, students. The lesson for today is about notices. Notice is something which is sent out to all members, informing them about various organizational details or when they are required to attend a meeting or wherever there's some new information about an organization. So, in a business organization, a notice which informs everyone is an important and integral part of business communications. We all are quite familiar with the word notice because even in school and colleges we've been receiving many information through a notice, whether it's a celebration or whether it's a cultural activity or the last date for submission of a project. All these things are intimated to us by a notice. So we're already familiar with that. In the world of business too, there are different types of notices for different types of targeted groups. And this is what we have to actually pay in mind, that there is different notices for different various targeted group. Information is dispensed or cascaded via a notice. ऐसा नोटिस जो है जो सारे डिपार्टमेंट्स को एक साथ चला जाए, जो सारी इन्फॉर्मेशन है वो सब लोगों तक पहुँचे, इसका मुख्य एम ये रहता है. Nobody is left out from that piece of information because information plays a very vital role in running a business organization. In this lesson, we will learn what exactly is a notice, what is the importance of a notice, and what are the objectives. After all, why do we send out notices behind writing a notice? So what are the objectives behind a notice? We will also learn to use the correct words of writing a notice. The choice of words is important, that the words that we use. So let's take a look. In the layman's word, we all know what a notice is, but let us look at it in a business way. A notice is a formal written document, the objective of which is to provide important information to the receivers. ये बहुत प्रमुख इंफॉर्मेशन जो होती है वो सारे रिसीवर्स को समय के साथ समय अनुसार पहुंचाना. इसको अधिकतर नोटिस बोर्ड पे डिस्प्ले किया जाता है जहाँ पे सारे लोग इसको देख सकें, और अगर वो एक लीगल नोटिस है तो उसको उस व्यक्ति विशेष को बाय पोस्ट भेजा जाता है. The idea of writing a notice is to draw attention to something or some event. ध्यान आकर्षण करना ज़रूरी है, वही ऑब्जेक्टिव है मेन एक नोटिस का, ताकि सब लोग का ध्यान केंद्रित हो. कोई इवेंट या कोई फंक्शन या कोई मीटिंग, ज़रूरी मीटिंग जो होने वाली है. इसमें एक चीज़ का ध्यान रखना है कि जो नोटिस का जो लैंग्वेज है वो सिंपल हो और कंसाइज हो, टू द पॉइंट हो, so that everybody ranging from the top level to the peon or maybe the cleaners or the janitors can understand that information correctly. There is no use using flowery language because that will hinder the process of understanding in many of the employees of the organization. A notice probably will convey information. It can convey any of the following information, in a comprehensive manner. It is usually an advance information about a happening, a general instruction, any event, कोई भी event जो होने वाला है, or a function, or so on, anything of that importance. So that is the main objective of conveying that information through a notice. What are the main purposes of a notice? That comes to mind. So let's look at what is the purpose of a notice. The purpose of a notice in any business may be any of the following. It can be anything, one or the other. It can be inviting the employees for a meeting, maybe an extraordinary meeting or a general body meeting or a regular course meeting. So inviting them to such meetings can be one of the objectives. Informing them about the new regulations or rules that are initiated or formulated. If there is a change in timing of the arrival and the time that the employees get off the job, that has to be communicated properly, or any other objective. If there's a change in uniform or if they're changing timings, shift timings, that has to be informed to all the employees. Any event that has to be held, any event, celebrations or cultural programs, that too is informed through a notice. If a holiday is declared on any particular day which was not scheduled earlier, it was not on the holiday list earlier, but now it has been scheduled, a deadline for submitting a paperwork or project, अगर कोई उसमें कोई इंफॉर्मेशन आता है कि फलना तारीख को आपको जमा कर देना है अपना असाइनमेंट या प्रोजेक्ट, that can be intimated through a notice. Let's look at some important points to remember while we write a notice. Notices can be used, we can use capital letters for drafting a notice, for details such as names of the organization, captions, or an important detail in the message. वो capital letters में हो सकता है. It is against the rules of general English, but in business English that type of license is given to the communicators. And the reason why they are allowed to write it, the captions and the headings in capital letters, this is to attract attention of the readers, so that the readers are not left out of the important points that is contained in the notice. The date of the notice can be placed at the top right or left or bottom right or the left hand corner. So you are at liberty to put the date of the notice anywhere where you choose. The entire content of the notice is centered within a box. I have a specimen of a notice, and even a notice specimen is given in your books, so you can see that it is actually in a box, the content of that. And the fourth point, the individual responsible for issuing the notice should write the name, or should write the person's name below the signature, followed by his designation. So the name has to be below the signature, and the designation of the person who is drafting or sending out the notice must also be very clearly mentioned, so that everybody knows whom the notice is coming from. And to complete sentences may not be used. Again, this is against the laws of the rules of English, but this again is allowed. Complete sentences may not be used always. Abbreviations and symbols rather are permitted. Just as if you remember, while taking notes, you are permitted to use abbreviations and acronyms and symbols. So here too, you can use all these abbreviations and symbols. And remember that they don't have to be in complete sentences. They can be the individual responsible for the issue can write his can mention phrases, or just a part of a sentence. So complete sentence is not one of the pre-required. Now let's look at a sample notice. This is a picture of a sample notice, and if you see, this is enclosed in a box. As you can see the cursor, this is enclosed in a box on the page. So you must, when you write a notice, you must enclose it in a box, and the heading will be of notice, and the organization's name could also be mentioned. And as you can see, this is a rather this thing of a notice where a board of directors is being called upon by the company to be held on Wednesday. The reason of the meeting must be mentioned, and here it's to the market conditions and to prefix the selling rate of cement in that light. So this company is in the cement business, and they are calling a board of directors meeting to fix the correct price for the cement, per bag cement, or the quantity, and it's signed by to whom it is, the notice is going out to, that's mentioned here, and the person who's writing the notice, his name and his designation is here, and his signature will come here. The signature has not been given here because it's a specimen. So this takes care of the notices for you, and I thank you for your time, and I hope that this lesson is useful for you. Thank you very much.